Everyone, welcome to this week's issue of Monday Mindset Mastery. Today, my guest is Christine Kloser, and we are going to talk about next level leadership. So, I met Christine at the Soulful Leadership Retreat back in February, and I wanted I wanted to have Christine as a guest on my show. So, Christine, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your journey and how you got to where you are today?
Lots of trial and error is how I got to where I am today. um, yeah, gosh, I don't know how far you want me to go back, but I'm one of those people who started coaching back in the mid 90s before I knew what coaching was. Um, I had been running a women's group in Los Angeles as a volunteer leader for an organization, and that led me to taking groups of women up to the mountains of Lake Arrowhead, where I actually eventually got married almost 24 years ago. Um, and I found myself doing this thing where I would just gather women for retreats up in the mountains. And I kind of co led with a friend of mine. And every retreat we did was just magic. Women would come in with this massive weight, something, oftentimes it was something that they didn't even know was
Mhm.
weighing them down until they landed right in the space and they felt safe and they felt seen and they felt supported and they felt like they could actually let that lower thing bubble up and they'd walk away completely changed and go on to do amazing things in their lives. So I've been coaching for a really long time. Like I said, I think I was 2 years into facilitating those retreats when someone showed me an article about something called coaching. And again, it's like I just followed my intuition. I was leading this group as a volunteer leader, and there was all this talk about vision and having how important it was for women to have a vision for their life. But the curriculum that I was given to teach didn't really talk about vision. So over lunch with my friend, we're like, well, we should get away for a weekend and talk about that. We thought you're going to see a theme here in a moment. We thought we would just go do that once with the women in that group and it would be over until they came back and started telling other women. And we ran what was called the Vision Weekend for a couple of years. And that seems to be the theme of how I've ended up where I've ended up. I ended up creating a women's networking group in Los Angeles called the Network for Empowering Women Entrepreneurs. And like I had no intention to grow a 500 strong, membership organization. I just needed to talk to a few women as an entrepreneur myself. That's when had a business in the fitness industry. Like I just need to be able to talk to women. So why don't I just get a little group of women together, none of whom had businesses, but they were friends willing to come and sit and hear me talk about my vision of the safe place for, spiritually oriented, high achieving women to come be together in a way that wasn't just about pressing flesh and passing business cards and who do you refer to who. And that little group of four women in the back of a restaurant, a Lazy Susan table in LA turned into 500 members of my organization with no
That's
marketing. I did
amazing.
absolutely no marketing. So that just kind of happened. And then my 20 plus years in the publishing industry, helping nearly 700, we've published nearly 700 people at the Shot Press. And I've coached tens of thousands more through all of my trainings and online summits and things. But that just kind of happened out of this amazing group of women I pulled together. There was an opportunity for me to get us together to publish books. So how I got here is by just doing kind of what showed up in front of me, doing what happened. And the next happening is happening for me now. It's just not yet in form, but that's just
Mhm.
kind of how it's been.
I love that. Just following, what felt right, following your intuition and allowing things to come to you. So I wanted you talked about retreats, and retreats are something I'm passionate about. And I love the fact that there's magic there, and that really when people don't know what they're holding when they show up, what they need to let go of or what they're going to find. And that's what's so powerful in that, they're all different and everyone you go to is something's going to happen. But if you're open, I mean, really magical things can happen and you come out a changed person, which I think is so amazing. So the
Absolutely.
time,
I'm super excited because next Monday, because we are live right now, but Monday I've got a dozen women coming. I sold out my next women's transformational writing retreat. And with my writing retreats, the big, like the inside joke is you come because you think it's a writing retreat, spelled WRITING. And yes, we've had people write thousands and thousands of words in just a couple of days on my writing retreats. But when they leave, they would say that it was a writing retreat spelled RIGHTING. So yeah, I've got my next 12 amazing women coming just next week. I'm super excited.
That sounds great. Yeah. So, the topic today is next level leadership. So tell us a little bit about what next level leadership means to you.
Well, what's interesting, this was a concept that actually was birthed when I saw you in Florida. The day before that retreat started, I hosted a private mastermind for some of our publishing clients that were there. And we had an incredible day, of course, like breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough, and light bulbs going off and connections being made. And for many of them, it was kind of like the end of their journey in working with me because their books were published or about to be published. And there was this desire, this deep desire that they had to, like, we don't want to be done. Our books are done or almost done, but we want more. We want to go to that next level together. We want to be able to step up and out in this world, this wild world that we're living in that is changing so fast, right? Your head will spin all day if you don't do the work to keep your head centered on your centered, regulated body. And they're like, how do we lead in this world and go out and do what we're here to do? And I thought, well, I have a lot to say about that, but I don't have any program. So I just went back I sat with it and I thought, what do I do here? And I thought, you know what? I did run a program years ago called the Next Level Leadership Experience. And I guess that was my nudge. Again, just like following the guidance that I was supposed to bring back the Next Level Leadership Experience. And really what it is, and it's a fully integrated approach to leadership. So when we talk about leadership, we're not just talking about, oh, I'm an author, I'm going to go out and lead as an author, or, oh, I'm a business owner, I'm going to go out and lead as a business owner. No, we're talking about that you are a spiritual human being here for an incredible divine purpose. And you are here to, have an incredible personal life. And you're here to have a rich and deep spiritual life. And you're here to experience creativity and the abundance that comes along with truly aligned creativity. And so next level leadership is like the holistic, integrated approach to what it takes to be a leader. And in these days, I feel like it's far less about the nitty gritty of what you're doing and so much more about who you're being. What work are you doing to clear the vessel so you can show up as that truly soul guided, right, divinely aligned leader to do what you are here to do. So that's what I consider next level leadership. It's the holistic, fully rounded. I often gather specifically women in rooms. I did this also down in where we met in Florida. At the end of the event, I gathered 20, the top women leaders that were there in my room. They had no idea where they were coming. They just were like, well, you invited me, so I'm showing up. And they walked in the room like, oh my gosh, she's here, she's here, she's here. Oh my goodness. But what happened when women walked in that room and landed on the couch or landed on the chairs, it's like who they might have been on stage or who they, were in the room, or it was their first time or their sixth time at the event. Everyone landed and it was equals. Even me as the facilitator, the person who called this event together, we sat in a circle and in a few hours, like magic happened. Massive healings and breakthroughs happened because it's not every day that women leaders especially have a space where they can be real, be seen, right? Be held, be vulnerable, while also maintaining every bit of credibility that woman had, whether she was sitting next to someone in the room or up on the stage or wherever. And that to me is next level leadership. Like, how can we be all of who we're here to be and not have to hide who we are and what we're struggling with, and like still go out there and light up the world and be human, moving through the things that we move through as humans.
Yeah, no, I love that. And it is so true that it really is, it's a process. It's not something that, you get here and you're done. And that's what so many people feel like, even your book people, it's like the published book is not the end of the journey. It's just the beginning. And so I love that you're creating the space to go beyond that and for everyone to really be who they are. Because I always feel like leadership is something from inside. I mean, so many people try to lead from outside. They take these classes and they learn how to do this and how to do that. And it's not authentic. It's not who they are. And you can't be someone else. You can't lead like someone else. So I love the fact that you're gathering these people, and that you've got this program on really being true to yourself and leading from your heart. And that's really where it comes from. And I completely agree, especially now in this crazy world with all the stuff going on, having that space to just be who you are
Yeah.
is so much more important than what you're doing or what you're trying to do or what you're creating. Because when you're creating from that space, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, because I
So
think
what?
there's so much in the world right now, I think, that is trying to like tamp out like that pilot light
Mm,
of those of us who know we're here to bring light and love and healing and recovery and transformation and unity to the world, right? Like there's a lot out there. I mean, if you just catch the wrong hot, like I remember there was one morning I was at some hotel and I didn't realize that this hotel delivered paper to your doorstep every day, the newspaper. And so I didn't know it. And I opened my door and there was a picture like on the newspaper at my door that I did not choose to see that was there. And I won't describe what the picture was, but it was awful. Like I can't even believe it went on the front page of the news. And that they voluntarily put that on my door, right? Like little moments like that, little things you hear, a headline you catch, a conversation you overhear. I overheard a conversation of fireworks the other night. Like I was like tapping and calming myself down, just listening to this conversation. Um, because there's a lot of that out there. But we, as next level leaders, it's our responsibility to make sure that that pilot light that is fueling our creation, our energy, what we're doing, because we don't need a whole lot of us on the planet to see things really tip. Like, I think maybe we'll see it in my lifetime, God willing, God is willing, in my daughter's lifetime. Um, but it's important that we gather together, that we are in that place of remembering the truth of who we are as lights, as leaders, as a source of love in the world. And like that pilot light has to stay on to fuel all of that, and that's why we need each other. That's why we jump into programs and enter communities and watch things like this on Facebook or wherever you're watching.
Right. Yeah, no, it makes a huge difference. And I think the connection is so important because even though there are so many people that are living with purpose, want to make an impact, have that light, when they're together, it really grows. So having a whole bunch of individuals just doesn't do enough. It's bringing them together. So I love that you're creating that space to bring people together. And the fact that they're all equal when they're together. That's one of the
Yeah.
things I love about a mastermind group or something where suddenly you are all equal and everyone's opinion is just as valid and just as valuable as anyone else's. And the world needs more than that because we do have too much anger and disagreement and just things going on. And you know, I saw a quote that I popped up in my daily meditation yesterday. I think it was from Viktor Frankl. Like ask not what you can give to the world, or I think something like ask not what the world gives to you. Ask what you can give to the world. And it is so true because and I love your story because you didn't go plan. I'm going to start a coaching business, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this. It just you let what came to you happen. How can you, for people who are maybe, you have lots of experience, for people who are newer and just starting out, how do you learn to trust that and do you have any advice on listening to your intuition, trusting what's in your heart and making that a successful business? Because I feel like a lot of new entrepreneurs, new business owners are, they're so worried about getting this done and getting that done and doing this kind of marketing that they don't actually listen to what's being told inside.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm going through a whole, right? Like I have like documents that I track each one of my clients in the Next Level Leadership Experience program, and I created one for myself as well. They don't know that. So if any of them see that, you'll now know that I'm kind of tracking in the background right alongside all of you. And I knew when I started leading, it's just a 6-month program. I don't know if I'll do it again. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. But for this 6 months, like I knew that I was needing to step into my next level of leadership as well, which is emerging. So one of the most important things, I'll just speak from my own personal experience right now, is doing the work to really discern from what you think you should do, what someone else is telling you to do, and what feels right in your heart, what feels right for you. And that isn't necessarily an easy task. Like you really got to sit with yourself. You have to contemplate that question and really look at what am I being called to do, and where is that calling coming from? It's not really cut and dry, because when I don't like this analogy. Let me see if I can find another one. Like the fish doesn't know it's in water, right? We, being people who are living in a lot of online worlds and online businesses and full inboxes and social media, and if you tap into anything around marketing, then everything you get is going to be about marketing, right? And everyone's got a better idea than the next one. You shouldn't do that. You should do this. You shouldn't do that. You should do this. You shouldn't do that. And it's hard to know that we're actually like the fish in the water. We're like the person that is so inundated by so much externally of what we should and shouldn't be doing to make our business grow overnight, 7 figures next year. It can be a task. And I will tell you, like for a lot of my business years, well, and part of it is because I lived with debilitating chronic pain for 19 years of the last 20. So when someone came through my inbox, I would always have the inspiration to start these beautifully divinely aligned ideas. And then like I'd see something like, oh, maybe that'll help. Because I didn't have the capacity living with chronic pain. Like I didn't have full access to my brain, my body, my energy. Like every day, my biggest dream was that it wouldn't hurt. Right? When that's your biggest dream, it's hard to really focus on what your divine plan is. Thankfully, I've taken time off and I'm completely pain-free now and alive again. But I will tell you that during those years, it's like I see a lot of that stuff come in. I'm like, oh yeah, I should do that. I should do that. I should do that. I should do that. And none of it really got me anywhere. Like I would have been better off maybe not even trying to do all the things that I did, because I certainly wouldn't have wasted all of the investments that I made thinking that was going to help and that was going to help and that was going to help. I think the more we can get quiet, the more we can see that we are fish in water in this marketing world, and kind of dial it back and really see what feels right to us. And I'm exploring some new things in my own marketing, kind of testing out my own little theory. I don't have anything yet to report, but it's interesting just to see sort of what's happening when I just tune into myself.
Yeah.
Like I think yesterday, as I was sitting by the pool, I sent out a few texts, and I might have sold out like my next retreat, not a writing retreat, more of a women's ceremony sort of retreat. But I think that's already sold out from a couple texts I sent yesterday while I was sitting poolside. Right. So you got to find what works right for you.
Yeah. I think listening to ourselves, we are all, so many people are searching for the answers outside and trying this and trying that, when we have the answers and we just don't listen for them. We don't trust ourselves either. We figure someone else knows better, when no one really does know better from you. And I know when I do that, when I actually say, okay, I don't care what people tell me to do, feels right. It works so much better. You send out an email that's from your heart, that's something that feels right. And suddenly, instead of getting crickets, you get 30 or 40 people like actually replying back, which Normally
I've
you
got
don't
one of
do
those
that.
emails going out tomorrow to my list. It's like, hey, sorry, this next retreat is sold out, but reply to this email if you want to get on the VIP notification list for the next one. I'll be
Yeah,
curious to see what happens. It was no selling, no nothing, just as a courtesy,
just as
because
a,
I know I
just
still have
letting you
people
know.
thinking about it, even in these last few days. I'm like, well, I better let everyone know that it's sold out, and just invite them to get on the VIP list for the next one. Who knows? Maybe that'll just sell the next one out without me sending any other email. We don't
Right.
know, but I'll know more
Yeah.
tomorrow.
How often do you do your retreats?
Oh my gosh. Well, it depends on the type of retreat. I mean, this year I'll probably be 6
Okay.
in various forms. One was a week of writing down in Costa Rica. I've got a retreat coming up, a private, small, intimate one at my home. In September, I've got a dozen women coming now. I'm looking at doing another virtual retreat online, like a women's reset retreat online for a half day or a day. I don't know yet. And then I have space booked for December for a retreat. I just don't know exactly what it's going to be yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's what's so amazing about retreats is they really can be anything, anywhere, any topic, and there's value in all of them. And that's what I love so much about, helping other people who want to host retreats and never thought it was possible because they think it has to be this and that and that, and they have to have an exotic location. And you really don't. It's really, you
No,
have to have
I've
hold a
hosted
space.
very powerful retreats just right here in my living room.
Yeah.
It's like it's amazing. Well, my living room and then my basement for certain activities, but yeah, it's amazing what happens. And when I was on retreat in Costa Rica, hosting a bunch of women there for a writing retreat, I think that was April. Yeah, April. I we all I have the beautiful little cards printed up for what our desires were moving forward. And one of my desires, I wrote it down, was to always have my next retreat on my calendar. And I made sure that happened, and I will continue making sure that happens because it's my happy place.
Mhm. So that brings up a great question. If people are interested in connecting with you, working with you, maybe coming to one of your retreats, how can they get in touch with you? Or even if you're still doing the books, right? Or if you stopped doing the
Oh
book?
yeah, no, we're still publishing. We've got about a dozen books in the hopper. I have to send out another proposal for a client that I just spoke with last week that comes in, and someone else is like, I need information on your self-publishing navigator because I want to
Yeah.
self-publish, but I need help. And so yes, publishing is alive and kicking and strong. Almost 700 authors in. With a dozen amazing books coming out in the next year. But if you want to connect with me outside of publishing, just go to christinekloser.com. If you can see on my screen, that's how my name is spelled: CHRISTINEKLOSER.com. And I'll be honest with you, because I told you, like, I'm in transition. My next thing is emerging. So all you're going to see there is a placeholder site. There's no PDF. I have no bonus. I have no free video series. All I have is the opportunity to get on my email list so you can know what I have coming up next. So just plain and simple, just go sign up to find out what's going on.
Oh, I love that. That's great. Yeah, just connect. And
Yep.
I think last time we talked, you were working on, was it a goddess book or a book?
Yes, the book is still in the works. It's interesting that I have been given a big pause from the universe that I need to, there's something else coming first in order for that book to be the best it can be. So I'm just practicing patience like I've never practiced before, because I'm like, I have an idea and I execute. Like, I'm the quite crazy one that had a thought to do a summit called the Transformational Author Experience, and 90 days later I had 20 speakers and 10,000 people signed up. Like, that's
Wow.
usually the speed that I move. But not since I've come out of my pain journey. um, Chronic physical pain will change you when you come out of it. Like, you just look at life differently. So I'm practicing patience and trust and allowing for me to receive what's next before I just go do it prematurely.
That makes sense. Yeah. So we're getting close to the end. I wanted to ask if you had one piece of advice, one message you would like to share with everyone. What would that be?
I feel like today I'm just supposed to tell you all watching this that you are amazing. You are a gift. There is not a single person on this planet now, in the past, or ever in the future designed like you're designed to be who you're here to be in the world. So just remember that you are amazing. You have so much support around you in the physical realm, like here you're with us today, in the invisible realm to help you be all of who you were here to be. So just don't forget that amazingness when the next thing you go to do feels a little scary, you're not sure you should. Like just remember, like the universe does have your back, and so do people like us showing up in your feed today. So I think that's it.
Oh, that message gave me goosebumps. So yeah, I agree completely. Yeah, nobody's a better you than you. You're the perfect you, exactly where you're meant to be, and exactly doing what you're meant to be doing at this moment, in this yeah, this second. So,
Yep.
I love that message, and I hope everyone listening takes that message to heart and really, I one of my big visions and my big beliefs is that everybody deserves to live an extraordinary life, and that a life that fills us up, that we love, a life full of joy and love, and it is possible. And I think Christine is showing us how it's possible and helping, for over 20 years has been helping people find that life for themselves. So it's there for all of you. Christine, this has been great. I love hearing your story. I love that you are open to just listening to the universe and doing what, your intuition tells you is next. And I think we can all learn from that. So thank you so much for being the guest here.
My
And
pleasure. Thank you, Lori, for having me.
yes, and thank you all for listening. Please reach out. It's ChristineKloser.com. I'm going to connect and get on your mailing list because I want to hear about it. So I don't know how I haven't done that yet, so I'm going to do that. But connect with Christine, learn about what she's got coming up. And next week on Monday, Mindset Mastery, my guest is going to be Elisa Bogarts. Elisa is a launch expert. So if you do get that idea that comes to you, with what you want to do next or what you want to work at, Elisa can help you get in that right mindset to get it launched correctly and to actually help you with some of the details that you might not be an expert on. And we're going to talk about mindset because Elisa was a mindset coach as well before she started this. So thank you all for joining again. Thank you, Christine, for coming, and have an amazing day, an amazing week wherever you are. I hope it's wonderful. You have beautiful weather and enjoy your July. Thank you so much.